In this video, I'll be showing you how to level completely AFK up to maximum level using some of the fastest techniques known for that purpose. You will be able to level while asleep, while at work, while watching YouTube, or playing another video game entirely. This is the ultimate guide to AFK leveling. So, in a recent video I showed how to level AFK up to level 70 by parking a toxic wasteling pet next to a large number of bunnies. I expected that video to get around 5,000 to 10,000 views. That video cleared 100,000 views in a day, saw Goldshire overrun with AFK players, created a bull run on the price of toxic wastelings, and created a huge amount of buggy chaos, the like of which could normally only be achieved by an official Blizzard patch release. Now, I uploaded that video mainly because of the lol factor of leveling up by killing bunnies. I had no idea there was so much interest in AFK leveling, so in this video I'm presenting a guide on how to do just that. Unlike the Noble Garden event, this guide isn't tied to a specific event, and the methods are actually significantly faster than the bunny method. To level AFK in WoW isn't actually that hard, but you have to meet a number of basic requirements. Number 1, you will need some kind of pet, stroke minion, or something that can fight for you without prompting. This can be a hunter pet, a warlock minion, a pet or other guardian that is given to you for a specific quest or game feature. Number 2, you will need to find a location where an NPC mob can be killed easily by your pet stroke guardian. Number 3, the NPC must respawn frequently. Now, I'm going to show you a really simple example using my Warlock here. I'm going to this location in the Garden of the Moon in Val-Shara in the Broken Isles. You will need your character phased into Chromie time for this to work. Take the Legion time walking option from Chromie outside your faction embassy. You can level AFK using any class, and we'll come to that in a minute, but I'm just going to show you a very simple example using the Warlock's Felguard. This mob here respawns almost instantly in essentially the same location. Placement is important. You need to get reasonably close to the spawn point so the mob aggroes the player, but if you get too close to the spawn point, the mob stops spawning at all. So, through a process of trial and error, we work out the optimal position. Now, our Felguard is set on defensive, so it will respond to any attack on the player. The Felguard has to not just be able to kill the NPC, but do so with minimal health loss. If the mob damages the Felguard significantly, it will eventually die after multiple respawns. So we need the Felguard essentially to be at 100% health, or something close to it, all of the time. To avoid logging out, we use the following anti-afk macro, which you can cut and paste from the description below. Just cut and paste this into the chat box. Nothing will happen immediately, but you'll find that you no longer log out normally. You can level up from 10 to 60 just using this method. When you hit 60, you'll find that you're booted out of Chromie time walking, and your character no longer scales with the mob you've been killing, so you don't get as much experience. The solution to this is to group up with a low-level character on a starter edition account who has time walking switched on. That way your leveling character can go all the way to 70. This method is fine, but it's a bit slow. We can do better. And unless you are a warlock or a hunter, you won't have a combat pet or minion to fight for you, so you'll need to acquire one. This is really just a simple example to illustrate how the method works. Now, to show you the effective limits of what we can do, let's go to Red Ridge Mountains and level up through the quest chain till we reach the penultimate quest in the chain, Showdown at Stonewatch, which gives us multiple NPC helpers. They're called Bravo Zero Company, who can kill anything in the zone in seconds. Bravo Zero Company kill mobs extremely fast, and their health never goes down to any extent, which makes them perfect for AFK leveling. Indeed, I don't think there is a practical faster way to level AFK in the game. If you go to this location next to the lake, there's a gnoll camp, where the gnolls will respawn constantly when killed. Excellent as this spot is, there are several reasons why this spot may not be the best option for you. It takes a small but significant amount of active leveling time to reach the quest showdown at Stonewatch in the first place. Additionally, if you go AFK long enough, Bravo Zero Company despawn and you will come back to this. So you can't do this one truly AFK. You can, however, watch Netflix or whatever for 30 minutes to an hour or so, and then just check back for a few seconds. Additionally, this one is just for Alliance. The rough equivalent to this location for Horde is here in Andorral, on the outskirts of the Western Plaguelands. These farmers here spawn in remarkably high numbers. They award much lower experience than a regular mob, but they spawn so fast that this is still a very good way to level AFK. You will need to complete the first half of the Andorral quest chain in order for the farmers to spawn. To kill the farmers, I'm using two different groups of quest pets that regular viewers will be very familiar with, as I've covered them on numerous occasions before for videos about active rather than passive leveling. These NPCs are Johnny Bravo, Apothecary Leiden, the Lords Walden and Godfrey, and Baron Ashbury. I've already given detailed instructions as to how to glitch them out of their intended zones in my video, The Fastest Way to Level by Grinding in WoW, which I'll link to directly below in the description box. But don't go and watch that just yet, there's some really important information to come. Now, it can be difficult to find an area where mobs respawn fast that also has some quest NPCs that you can take to the same area, so here's a way to get around that. First, create a Warlock character on a free starter edition account, preferably an allied race character, so it is already at level 10. You can use the Warlock to level up any other character you wish. Take this hut in Elwyn Forest. There's a goblin inside, and if you place a Warlock slightly in front of it, every time the goblin spawns, it will attack the lock. This spawns 3 other NPCs who will try and kill your player. At level 10, your Felguard will kill all 4 NPCs without you or the Felguard receiving a scratch. In modern WoW, level 10 characters and their minions are very strong. You actually get much weaker relative to NPCs as you level up. So take your Warlock and then lock experience with the NPCs Beston and Stats in Stormwind and Orgrimmar respectively. This will keep your Warlock and your Felguard super strong forever. Now we open another client by clicking on the WoW icon, create another character on our main account that we want to level, and group it up with the lock on the free starter edition account. We'll return to the hut I just showed you and get the lock and their Felguard to grind mobs while the character we want to level stays outside. When you look at this from the leveling character's perspective, they are just passively gaining experience. Now, the experience gains get cut in half because of the 2 players in the group, but this is still relatively good for passive AFK experience. Now, you can use the examples in this video, but be aware that you might find someone else doing this already in the locations I've shown, at least in the few days after this video has been released. Here's an instant respawn zone which can sustain a large number of players. It is an odd location inside the Dawning Woods catacombs in Ravenhill Cemetery. Multiple silent shades materialise here periodically and respawn instantly when killed. One especially useful thing about this area is that the shades patrol back and forth, so you can give your pet or minion some time to recover their health if they need to. But the best locations are of course ones you discover for yourselves. You won't have to worry about competition, and if Blizzard ever decide to take an interest in this subject, you won't show up on their radar so much. I'm not going to give away every combination of locations and quest NPCs, there are far too many of them, though I may come back to this subject in future videos. But here's a few tips for now. First, the Forsaken Chain and Hillsbrad Foothills quest chains contain numerous quest NPCs that I haven't covered here or in other videos. Both the Legion class Order Hall and the Draenor Garrison also allow you to use NPCs in content specific to those expansions. And finally, of course, even very simple automation with something as simple as an auto-clicker can level AFK much faster than the methods I've shown in this video. Of course, such methods explicitly breach Blizzard's terms and conditions. much more so than anything I've shown in this video. You are really just taking advantage of Blizzard's crappy game design with the methods I've shown here. So I'm not going to talk about full-on automation and give Blizzard another excuse to try and take down this channel again. However, there is a one-click leveling method on my Patreon which is very fast and can be very easily automated for those who want to push the envelope.